Hello, and welcome back to Unforgettable Crafts here in Melbourne, Florida, where it is too hot for this. Sorry, guys, but it's 65 outside, and that is not chilly enough for that thing. It's warm in here. Anyway, as a reminder about being in Florida, look at this adorable little guy I bought. Isn't he cute? He's holding my price list. He's got his little backpack. So cute. Anyway, we are getting ready for a pop-up market. This weekend, Saturday the 15th, we are at Melbourne Oddities and Curiosities Market, and it's at the same place that we're normally at, which is 2400 Riverview Drive in Melbourne, Florida. So it's at the same location, but it's a completely different vendor hosting for us. So we are completely in the dark here on what's going to happen, except for we do know where our booth is going to be. So where we normally are, when we walk down that first little strip, we're usually down on the right, which you guys have seen 100 times now. Not literally. But this time it's actually going to be open all the way up the sidewalk, over and back down the side of the river, which we've never been on that side at all. I've never been to that side of the river. Anyway, we are going to be near the food trucks. So where we normally have the food trucks at the beginning of the sidewalk, they're not going to be there this time. They're actually going to be over on the riverside, and they have to come through a different way to get to that side. So this is a completely new experience for us. We're not sure how we're going to be getting our items to our booth site. Hopefully we'll be able to drive over there, fingers crossed, because candles are very heavy. So we will see how this goes tomorrow. You'll be with us for all of this event, and in and out, of course, so you don't have to attend the whole time like we do. But it's from 10 until 4 tomorrow, so longer than our normal vend, and the longest one we've had so far, actually. So it's going to be interesting. But I wanted to take you through how we have these things laid out. So we've been ready for this market for almost 2 weeks now. And the reason is we've been trying to get our stuff ready to go and prepped as soon as we're done with the previous market. So when we were done with our market 2 weekends ago, we came home, I printed out what all sold that day, and then I immediately started making my checkoff list of what I needed to make to replenish and what I needed to take from my home inventory and put into my market inventory. And Shopify allows you to have 2 separate inventory layouts. So I was able to do that quickly by transferring it. So these boxes over here are what we use for our products, and we've recently revamped them to be more viable and helpful and more efficient for us. So we actually take these to all of our vending, and each one has now 2 different candles in it, or fragrance types. So inside of these is actually, I guess I should show you. Let me move this guy. Boop. All right, this is the Bachelor and the Barber. So in order to be ready for this, we have 3 of our 11-ounce candles, 4 of our little guys here, 6 of our air diffusers, 6 of our bunt bombs, and 6 of our wax melts. And we have that for each fragrance on each side, and it's met in the middle. So when we get there, we have them gentleman scent, alphabetical. No, they're not alphabetical. We did them by combining the letters. That's what I did. So I was trying to do it alphabetical, but it just made sense to do it this way. So anyway, we have all of those. Then we have all of our soaps separate. And the reason I did that was because we just kind of ran out of room in the box, and it was easier to put 2 separate items fragrance-wise in there, their whole set, minus the soaps. So since it's a new item, we started putting those in there. And then we have our extras. So there's 1 box that is supplies, which is like our main vending supplies, bags, checkout items, our paperwork, things like that that we have to bring to every event. but they don't really fit the product side. And then we have this box, which is my catch-all box, technically. But we have our seasonal specialty items in here. We have our price list clip-ons that we just started putting on our new baskets. If you saw that in the last episode, love these so much. And we have chalk marker for our blackboards. And then we have these. So if a soap is not there, I can put coming soon if I haven't made it yet, or I can put sold out when they sell out, and I can clip that in that area, which is cool. And then I have these wax melts that are pumpkin shaped and skull shaped. We still have these, which we were expecting to have those so we could have them for this market, the Oddities and Curiosities, because it's supposed to be some weird stuff. Nothing I sell is really weird or unique. Well, I mean, I'm unique, but I don't sell me. So anyway, so we have those there. And then we have our bunt bombs, which these are considered bath bombs because they're not actually bunt shaped. But we have our skull, our brain, and our beautiful red heart. Gotcha. That's anatomically correct. And then those are the ones that I lay out in front of this. And then the rest of them are wrapped and ready to go for the person. And they smell like buried body parts. Haha, pun intended. So this is actually, we haven't ever shown this, I don't think, in a video yet, but this has been our inventory at home. So what we did is I put these scents up here that are being discontinued. So this is Garden Tea Party and Island Latte. They are going out of stock. We are not going to be restocking them, so they're on the website only. They're not coming to the vendors with us. Then alphabetically from the top, we have all of our candles. And in each one, like this one's super full. This is our extra inventory. So I have currently 3 large and 3 small candles, wax melts galore, bunt bombs galore. On that side, that's what goes over here. Now the other side is our soaps because we just started recently making those. We put them over here because they're curing and their cure time is 4 to 6 weeks. So when we want to see something, we look at what it is and when I made them. And then we have our soaps. So this is our little barber soap, and I have it on its side because of the way that these are laid out. I don't want it to hit on the top if I put them too close together. But there's our Himalayan salt right there on the top for you. And here's the beauty. I love that smell. So good. All right, so that's what we do once we come home from an event. I immediately run a report as soon as we're calmed down and settled in. And then I start getting these out of here, putting them into the box to replace them. And then I go into my system and I can actually scan bar each one of these because they all have scan bars now. And when I scan it, it transfers it over to the other inventory system, which is phenomenal. And then I get to start making the replenishments for this area for the rest of the week. So this little guy just sits here until we go to our next appointment, our next event. So that's working really well, I think. And then up here, I do our lip balms. So last minute purchase, I guess you would say. And these are adorable little boxes. And I do have the barcode on the back, but I have a list of our barcodes on the back of my, in my checkout down here. So people can get the little lip balm down here and then I can replenish it from the top. And if they want a fragrance smell, because one is peppermint and one is passion fruit and rose. A lot of people don't know what passion fruit and rose smells like. Most people do know what peppermint is, so they don't really want to smell that one. But it is a nice light scent. So sometimes they want to smell both. This down here is our checkout station. You guys have seen this a million times if you watched our other videos. And I just changed this up because I got really tired of rewriting every single week, buy 3, get 1 free. And it would come off as we were coming in and out of the house. It was very frustrating. So I went on my Cricut today and I printed that out and I put our little UC logo down there in the bottom. And then inside, flippy, flippy, flippy. This is just a 13 by 13 cube from Target, which is wonderful. It doesn't actually have a backside. We made one. We hot glued this baby on here to make it a board. And then we have our goodies in here, including our little giveaway box down here. Ta-da! And all of this sits here waiting to go to the next event. And then today happens. And today is the day before the market. And it's actually the night before the market, and it's 8 o'clock at night. So we're about to have our coffee, our nighttime coffee, and drink those up. And then once we're done with that, we're going to start loading the truck with everything that can go out there that's not going to be damaged in the heat/cold. It is 65 out. I don't know do you know what the temperature is going to be in the morning?
58, I think.
58? Okay.
The high is 76 or 77.
Oh, 77 as a high. That sounds nice. Much better than the 93 we had the first event. So it's not going to be too bad heat-wise. It'll be kind of rough whenever the sun's hitting directly on you. But ultimately, we'll pack all the things that we can into the truck tonight, including the things that go inside of the truck, because we don't want the stuff in the back of the truck either. So we do that in the morning. But that way we have things ready, we shove them in there, we get in the truck ourselves, and we leave. And hopefully we don't forget anything. Because I definitely have forgotten things. But we have our new banner. Have you guys seen the new banner? I love it so hard. It was so pretty. My husband's laughing at me. But it's so pretty. I was really nervous because it was 4x8. Because when I was thinking about it, or when I purchased it a while back from Vistaprint, I was on there and I'm like, oh, the tent canopy is 10x10. So I want to go like as far to the edge as possible, but not quite to the edge. So I bought 4x8 banner, thinking it was like a, I don't know, 2x4 banner in my head. So when it got here, it was extra large. And I was like, ooh, I don't know if this is going to work. So we finally got to put it up in person because we had a lot of rain and we wanted to practice at home before we actually took it out. And then we were just sitting there forever trying to finagle it. So we got that and it looked amazing. I absolutely loved it. You did an amazing job putting it up, love.
Thanks.
He's amazing. Have I mentioned that he's amazing? And he's also unforgettable. Anyway, so that is our process. That's what we do every week now. As we start making adjustments, I'll let you guys know what we're doing to make it a little bit better. But we're getting this down to our science. As we used to call it on an ambulance, we do our dance and we walk around each other and it's just kind of habitual and we just do what we got to do to get things accomplished. And I think that's where we are right now. How do you feel about it?
It's good.
He's nodding. You guys can't see that.
Yeah, no, I think it's good. I think you're good. It's, I think it works, and I like loading the things up at night beforehand, like the checkout box and certain things like that, just because it's less work you have to do in the morning. One thing I pointed out before we went to go get dinner earlier is that we do have an assigned spot for the first time ever, so we're not like having to try to, the whole early bird gets the worm kind of thing. Yeah. So that's nice. So we're not as panicked to try to get there as early as possible to get a good spot. We can show up a little bit later and take our time, and our spot's guaranteed. So it should be interesting.
Yeah, what he said that you can't see. But I want to say a big thank you to my husband for doing this video. He is the man behind the mask. I'm the mask, I think. So he is back there working on the sound, working on these fantastic lighting. I don't know what he's doing, but he's got this down to a science too. So if you guys need his services for your product photography, yes, I'm doing a plug. He's over here turning red and embarrassed looking. But his website is www.unforgettable.imagery.com. So check out his beautiful photography over there. Hire him if you need him. And last but not least, we appreciate you, each one of you watching this video right now. We'd love to hear more from you. And I hope this goes well, and we'll see you at the event. So we're back again. We had a great time talking with our customer that just came through. She was fantastic. She's actually a vendor at different markets in a different location than here. So she was really interesting to talk to. Thank you for buying goodies from us. So back to what we're doing here. So it's been slower than normal. I think the other side is a lot busier. I heard it was very cramped over there, people walking through, and the tents just being close together more so than over here. Because we have a big blank space right after our tent that is, what are those? They're not gazebos? Is that what they're called? Yes. Gazebos with a picnic area underneath, which is great because they had the food trucks right here. They could walk over, sit down, hang out. Then they could smell our candles on the way by and hopefully purchase them. But it's been okay. It's been a good day overall. The weather has been fantastic. It's got a nice breeze over here beside the river. Mr. Unforgettable said that there's not very much of a breeze over there just because all the tents are lining that area and it's like 15 degrees warmer on that side. So for that part, that's a plus for us to be over here. Plus, we're getting the people that are really engaged and interested and coming through the whole park. So we have sold quite a few things. I don't know how much our sales are at right now and how many sales we had, but otherwise it's been great. And we'll talk about how it went after. Hello, we're at home now, and it has been a month since the Melbourne Oddities and Curiosities market occurred. We are just now getting around to doing an update on what happened and what we thought about it and how it felt to us. So the first thing that we wanted to talk about was that this event happened at our normal location at Riverview Park in Melbourne. And normally you guys see us on our major walk path that goes through the Riverview Park. There is a sidewalk on the back side that goes across that I didn't even know existed. And then there's another pathway over here, and that goes down the side of the river. Well, they used all of these areas for this market, and we don't normally do that. We just use the first part for Riverview. So they actually took this portion and moved the vendors below it and made 2 rows of vendors here, 2 rows down this side. And then we had supposedly 2 rows down this side, but this is a main road that actually people can drive on, so it's a big road to go across. We were situated down here at the very bottom where there's another pathway that goes across to the playground that you usually see in our videos. Now, when we got stationed here, there were supposed to be 2 other booths beside us. They didn't show up. So we're the only people on this side from back here all the way down to us. So it was really awkward and unusual because people would be walking down this path here and they'd be following the traffic on that side of the pathway, not realizing that there was anybody over here to even look at. So to get people to us, we had to make noise, talk to them, yell across the roadway to gain any interest in our booth. So that was difficult, to say the least. We thought that we would be in like the best prime location because we were situated next to some food vendors. And there was 3 food vendors there. But the one that was the busiest was also the slowest because they were the only one making actual food. So they had donuts, hamburgers and fries, and then like an Italian ice place beside that. So the one that was of course the busiest was the hamburger and fries when it came around lunchtime. So we just kind of got traffic from people stopping there and waiting for 30 minutes for their food. Yeah. So we just had to get creative with how we got people to come to the booth. And one of the people that walked by, I saw him down the way and I was like, ooh, I love his shirt. So I wanted to let him know that I loved his shirt. And so for those of you who do know this reference, you get a gold star. For those of you that don't know this reference, I'll tell you what it is in the end. So the guy and I locked eyes. And I was like, Kamehameha! And then he came into the booth. Do you know the reference? Are you an anime lover? Do you like Dragon Ball Z? I like Dragon Ball better. I like when he's a little kid and he has a tail. It's really cute. But anyway, I got to talk about my son, which is always a fun topic for me. And so I got to talk about how he used to watch it whenever he was little, and we used to do Kamehameha balls at each other all the time when he was growing up. But, yeah. So Miss Cindy was there. She is all wound up. Not literally, that's her company. She makes crochet items. I'm sure you've seen some of her items on our site before, and I think you went by her booth when you made this video too. Yeah. So it was one of the things that we heard from the other vendors was that it was really, really hot over on this pathway over here. And the reason for that was that there was a lot of tents over on that side cramped together, right beside each other. And then there was a lot of people in between those two areas. So it was hot over there and they were compacted. But it was super busy on that side is what I kept hearing. And I don't know if there was like an invisible barrier back in the back or if they didn't know that the vending turned. But at this point, they kind of went back home and thought it was over. So we lost a lot of people that could have potentially been customers because they didn't make it to the other end.
Yeah, whenever I did the walkthrough portion of the video, I was bumping shoulders with a lot of people as I was walking through, so it was busy.
Yeah, but then on our side, it was really open because it was a massive roadway that people just weren't seeming to walk down. So overall, we had a really funny lady come into our booth, and she just kept trying to hand me money to buy something. And I was like, well, what do you want to buy? And she kept saying that she was just happy she could find something that she could actually buy because she didn't really enjoy the whole oddities and curiosities part. But she liked my candles. So she bought some things from us. I can't remember what it was now, but she was super funny.
I think she bought bath bombs.
Bath bomb?
I think she bought 4. She did the buy 3, get 1 free.
You're right. Yeah, and then she's like, just keep the extra change because I finally got to buy something.
Yeah.
It was cute. But yeah, so it wasn't as exciting as I hoped it would be. I'm sure if we were on the other side, I would be saying something else right now. But for us, no, it wasn't so great. And that sucks because I was really excited about it. But we did make a decent amount. I think we still ended up with 3 or 4 times rent, the booth rent that we paid. I think we're right at 4 times, right?
Yeah, we dealt with bees too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you, Mama R, for taking good care of me because I don't like bees. Not even a little. And they came and flew down and started like hanging out in my winter and fall candles. Specifically, they liked Winter's Delight and Spicy Pumpkin. And they would actually like sit down inside of the candle. So I wasn't like able to show off the candles or let anybody touch those candles. But it started with just 1 and then they multiplied and we ended up with 5 or 6 of them. And so Mama R helped me by putting the lids back on for those. And then we put the lids back on all of our candles just to keep them away and they instantly left.
Yeah, and then whenever I ran the food to Cindy, everybody was talking about it over on the main pathway that they were dealing with bees as well. So I guess there was a lot of bees that day.
Apparently. It was very delicious.
Mm-hmm.
There was a dude walking around in cosplay. I don't know what it was. It had a tail and like horns. And it had a cute little heart underneath its eyeball. That was pretty. Anything else you remember from that?
Got the cute little witch hat.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I'll put a picture up, I guess.
It's really cute.
Yeah.
I like it.
There's people walking all around wearing them, varying colors and everything else. So ended up, my mom went walking to go shop and look at stuff or whatever, and she found them and told me where they were. So I went and picked one up for you and for Emma.
You don't seem very excited.
That's it. But yeah, I don't really remember much else that is worth mentioning. Other than a police officer said that he wanted to come buy an air diffuser for his police car. And he swore up and down that he was coming back and never did.
He didn't come back. Where did he go?
He didn't serve his community that day.
No, he just walked around it. No, I think overall it was good. They had some extra porta potties there. That's like the one negative of that area. There's no bathrooms to go to. So you have to focus on the porta potty. Depending on the day, it could be bad. So yeah, overall, it was an event. I don't know if we'll do it again next year.
I think if we do it again next year and we like lock in and decide that that's what we're going to do, we could plan ahead and do some odd candles and soaps and stuff like that ahead of time to prepare for it. But the only reason why we were odd is because we were different than everybody else.
Yeah. We were very curious as to why we were there.
Yeah. There was that one whole section that cut across the grass. It was very
unique.
It was very unique and a very adult rated. I'll just say that on their goods, whether it was ceramic plates or 3D printings and things like that. It was very interesting.
Yeah. So if you're into those kind of things, go to the Curiosities and Oddities markets. If you're not, then maybe you'll find someone like us that just happens to be there and it's very curious as to why they were there in the first place. So we wanted to bring up another event that we went to right after this one. It was the next weekend after. And it was at Riverview Park again. And we had heard that there was going to be some winds, some high winds potential. And it was like originally like 19 miles per hour or something.
I don't think we actually got reports of the wind.
Oh, not until we got there?
No, we were out loading up the truck and the weather was supposed to be nice. It was going to be overcast, but the temperatures were low. It was like 50 something in the morning and it was getting to a high of only like 74 or something.
Oh yeah, because we thought it was going to be nice.
And we were like, oh
cold.
man, like overcast, the weather's low, the temperature's lower. It should be great. We won't get melted by the sun today. And so we thought it was going to be amazing. And it was like a very, very slight breeze at the house while we were loading up the truck. And it felt great. And then we drove to the event. We recorded an intro, which I'm not, even bothering to load up or post up or whatever. But we did an intro in the truck, and then we got there and we backed the truck in and opened up the doors to the truck, and the wind almost ripped the doors right off the hinges of the truck.
Yeah.
And it was like probably, I would say 10 to 12 miles an hour, maybe 15 miles an hour constant, and the gusts were easily like in the mid 20s or higher. We had a couple canopies flying away.
Yeah. So when we were offloading, we're both talking about it. We're like, oh, well, it'll probably die down. No big deal. We'll get through this. It'll be great. The wind is just, chaos for a temporary period. And the weather's going to be fantastic. And instead, we set everything up and our tent was doing this kind of a thing. And everybody around us tent was doing this kind of a thing. And then the girl across from us literally lost her tent. It flew into a car, that was fun. She ended up like with her tent was actually broken on the top. She tried to put it back together before it flew. But then after it flew, she decided to pack that up and put it up. So she actually went throughout the whole event without a tent, but she seemed a whole lot less anxious during that event.
That was definitely a wise idea. And then there was the mom and daughter that were just down the sidewalk from us, and it was really windy on our side. I mean, it was windy everywhere, but it was windy over on our side. And then somebody suggested that she move her canopy over by them, which was just to the opposite side of us, and then on the opposite side, so she would basically be facing into the wind. And you went down there and helped, and I wasn't going to. And so I just sat there in my seat holding onto our canopy leg in case it decided it wanted to take off. And then they moved the canopy down to where they wanted it, and they only put like one
weight.
Yeah, one like 5 to 7.5 pound plate, like weight plate per leg, which is not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to put all 4 of them on one leg, or 5.
35
yeah,
pounds per leg.
Yeah, 35 to 40, depending on the event that we do here. I know it might be different in other places, but Florida, a storm can come out of nowhere and everybody's canopy's gone.
Here we go. That's what happened this day.
Exactly. And then so they ended up setting up their canopy down there and started putting everything up, and the tent or their canopy literally kept on lifting up, and it was like all tweaked and cockeyed and canted weird and everything else. And the only reason why it didn't continue to move is because it eventually hit the fence, which was the only thing blocking their canopy from hitting our truck. Even though my truck is not anything nice, but somebody would have got throat punched that day if their canopy hit my truck. So anyhow, that's the only reason why their canopy didn't continue to fly away, is because it literally pinned itself against the
and once it was pinned there, they actually moved the weights from the back to the front. So they had 2 weights on each front. Yeah. But nothing on the back.
And
then they left for a period of time, completely left the booth by itself, and I was like, oh goodness, it's gonna blow away now. But yeah, it was irritating, I think, more than anything for me, because I was just irritated that the wind was there, and then we couldn't really pack up because everybody was in our way to get to our vehicle, and then we would have caused drama. Yeah. So it was like, do we stay? Do we go? Is this gonna be worth it?
Yeah. We thought about it like really hard about leaving. And
I even went and got anytime favorite bread just in case we did leave. Yeah.
We went and grabbed it like super early. Like I think we grabbed the bread, like we tried to buy the bread before it even started. Because
she wasn't set up yet.
Yeah, I went down there and they weren't even set up. But when I ended up going, or you went down there and bought some, and then I went back to go buy pumpkin bread because you forgot the pumpkin bread.
They didn't have any.
And they didn't, but you forgot to buy some. Yeah. And then I went back down there and found out that they didn't even make it. Yeah. And I was really bummed. And I almost flipped their table. No, but so anyway, they were down there, and I asked where his wife was because she's the one that's usually always there, and apparently she went and took a nap because she was baking until 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah, when I went down, she was there when I went down the first time.
Yeah, she was there for me.
They swapped out so that she could sleep. So I hope she had a good sleep.
Did I walk with the camera that day?
Yeah.
I did, didn't I? We did the intro in the truck, and then I did a walkthrough because I remember stopping and they weren't set up yet. Yeah. And then you went down there after, bought what you bought, and then I went back again to buy something else.
Yeah, because the tents down there weren't moving half as much as the tents in our area were.
Yeah, because they had a lot more trees and stuff blocking.
And they were closer together too.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was interesting. We didn't make very much that day.
There wasn't a whole lot of people shopping. It was just obnoxious.
No.
It was very, very obnoxious. And you're like, I just basically set up our director's chairs like right next to the one leg of the canopy, and just kind of sat there and just held on to it the entire time. And it was like shaking quite a bit. But it did let us know or remind ourselves or whatever of the stakes.
Yes.
The stakes and the nylon cord or whatever for tying it down, because there was a couple canopies just down from us, right in the same wind that we were in. It wasn't like they were like near the front where it was less windy. And their canopy was like barely moving. Like, I mean, like a big gust would come through. We had branches falling down on top of us.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I totally forgot.
Yeah, one of the branches from I mean, it was just a palm tree, so it wouldn't have hurt that bad. But it came down and like landed like right on the bins for the candles and like shattered everywhere. So we had to clean the tables up and stuff because there was like just shrapnel all over the place.
Shrapnel.
But yeah, so we got to go and try to find the stakes and the nylon cord.
That when we're done doing this record for you guys. We're going to go look first.
So if we're ever back in that situation where we're on ground and everything else or whatever, we can put those stakes out. We just got to be really careful not to trip anybody.
Yeah. A lot of them had their stakes out and their tent wasn't moving as much, nearly as much as ours.
Barely moving at all.
But we looked up the, what is it called? The wind...
Yeah, I looked up the wind
parameters, I guess, on the canopy.
Oh, not the requirements. The
restriction? No. Whatever it's called. Whenever you look up what your tent's allowed to do, or able to do.
The maximum winds that it can handle.
There you go.
Was
33, 31.
I think it was 27 to 30 for ours.
Yeah, because it has steel frame commercial grade. Then
they have the S2 steel frame Pro or something like that, and they have one that was something else. I don't remember. It was the highest rated one, which is odd that the steel frame one had a lower wind rating than the aluminum one.
That's what was weird to me. I think I was reading it wrong is what I felt like, but that was what it said.
Like, aluminum is really, really light, and I don't think it's stronger than steel.
No. I mean, the man of steel, he's the strongest man.
Yeah, why isn't he the man of aluminum?
Yeah.
Or the man of aluminium.
Aluminium.
Depending on where you come from. But anyway. It was a really, really windy day, and so we were not in the mood at all. I couldn't care less about filming that day. It was probably too windy, even with the little dead cat thing on the Osmo microphone. It would have definitely put it to the test, but we were just panicked the entire time. Like, everything was sliding around. A gust of wind would come by and you look over. Some people showed up next to us with he makes the wooden bowls and pipes and like smoking pipes and everything else or whatever. And she made pottery. And their stuff blew over and fell, and I think she actually cracked a piece of her pottery whenever the display fell from a gust of wind. So it just wasn't. It wasn't one of those days where I wanted to film anything, and I was just just constantly on high alert the entire time, and just counting down the minutes until we could leave.
Yeah, and then there wasn't really anybody there. Like the customers definitely didn't want to come out in that. Once they got out of their car, they probably just got right back in and left.
And then right in the last like 30 to 40 minutes or whatever, actually it was probably even before then, like an hour before it was supposed to be over, it started sprinkling.
Oh yeah, I lost
It started misting, and as soon as she felt a couple little drops on the back of her neck, PTSD from our very first pop-up market ever, Vietnam flashback kicked in, and she was like, "We're leaving." I was like, "What?" She's like, "I felt something." I was like, "Maybe that was just me talking." She's like, she's like, "No, it's definitely starting to rain." And then I felt it, and then we immediately just started packing up all of our stuff because we're like, we're not doing this again.
No.
Not packing up while we're getting soaking wet. I hate that. It's obnoxious.
My brain was like, "Let's go now. Not playing games. Let's leave."
Yeah.
But
so that's the reason why we didn't get any footage of that one. But so the Oddities one went well as it could for where we were located. I think we could have done better if we were situated somewhere else. And then the Windy Market just wasn't worth filming anything, but we figured we'd recap you on that as well. And then we got some other ones coming up.
Yeah, we've got some we just finished. We did 2 weekend events.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. But before that, we went to North Carolina for the weekend. So we didn't do a market 2 weekends ago.
Which is also the reason why videos didn't come out, because we were heavily preparing for that. Of course, the other stuff that was going on, just life's been hectic the last month or so, just a bunch of different things going on. So the videos have kind of went for a second, and we're going to try to get some out going forward, and then we're going to hit the ground running in the new year, and got some new camera equipment. We're testing
pretty stuff.
Testing multiple different microphone setups and stuff to try to get some better audio and lighting and like the whole shebang. Like we're gonna go full scale starting in January for sure, after the holidays.
But I do want to say one thing. You guys have to see this. Are you ready? So you've seen this back here behind us, but it actually works.
Oh yeah, it's an actual little light bulb here. Let me see
Isn't
if I
it
can angle
cute?
it up a little bit better. There you go.
I can turn it off, but then I can go, I had an idea. Ah!
I just had to ruin it.
I thought it was cute.
So anyway, thank you for watching, and there will be a lot more video content coming up in the near future. We got some ideas for some different things.
Ooh, and we have new gift boxes coming out very soon, which he has to take pictures of.
Well, I gotta get I'm actually doing that right now. Trying to get the photography studio, I don't know what I'm gonna call it, set up, and I'm hoping to get it all set up to where I can, now that I have a dedicated video camera and I'm not using the same camera for like 85 different things, I'm hoping I can just kind of get it set to where all I gotta do is just connect a few things and I'm ready to go, because when the summer's back, I don't want to be out there in the photography studio for more than maybe 3.5 seconds. So I'm hoping that I can just get everything set up, and that way I can just go out there, shoot what I need to shoot, and come back in and start editing in the AC. That'll be nice, but we'll see how it goes.
But yeah, he's got lots of pictures to take in the near future, and we got a lot of videos to make, and we have some. We talked about the BTS channel. It's been made, but we haven't put any videos on it yet. So that's
because this guy sucks at filming stuff while he's doing stuff.
That's not true.
It just makes everything take like 4 times longer than it needs to. So it's like, oh, I'm gonna do a little quick something with reorganizing this thing. But then if you want to make it interesting and you have the camera out, it just makes everything take way longer than me just going out there like on a small break from work and just tackling something in 3 seconds.
Well, I think he's amazing.
Well,
and we're going to start putting up content on the BTS is one of my plans for 2026. But I guess I should make a video about my goals for 2026 for the business coming up soon, and then you can add your goals for the business too.
I have goals for this business?
Not yet.
I have goals for my business.
Same thing.
Right, that's separate.
Oh, kind of.
Anyway, all right, y'all. Have a good one, and we will see you next time.
Have a phenomenal rest of your day.
Bye.